With the Betsy, we will be going through a Grand Master Nightfall. This one is the Brachus Zahn. I always forget the name of it. So here we go. So what you're going to notice here is we want to try to keep our distance, so we stay in the back using hand cannons and scout rifles. That's also to deal with the unstoppable and the anti-barrier champions. As far as the weapon loadout, I went double primary. You can see I'm using a Trustee and a 7th Seraph and my Anarchy. We're also using Anarchy. Leo is using a Pulse. He's our Titan. A Pulse rifle and a Scout rifle. And Jellyfish was using a Scout rifle, and he didn't have his unstoppable. What he was doing was running a Truth Teller with blinding grenades, and that was to help keep ads under control. Here you'll kind of see the importance of focus fire. I'm trying to take on this champion and not really making much progress by myself. And you'll see once the fire team jump in, it goes a little bit quicker. So that's something that's going to be really important when you're doing the high quality events like this that are, you know, end game material. You want to make sure you're staying coordinated with your fire team. It may take you a few run-throughs, couple shots at different sections, just to kind of see. And so, moving forward, you'll see here, we're going to target the Thresher right away. You make sure you want to get those down. In this particular Nightfall, fire modifier was on for the enemies, so the incoming missiles can cause you a lot of havoc. And then the other thing we focus on, you'll see, will be the Scions in the back. They can cause a lot of issues when you get engaged. Once you get rushed here, as you start to move out from cover, you don't want them poking at you, and they can really, you know, muck things up for you when you do that. So we are running 3 Void subclasses. It's a Banner Shield for Leo the Titan. I'm running the top 3 Nova Bomb, and then our Hunter is running his Tether. The importance with that is he uses the invisibility with a 6 Coyote for 2 dodge charges, and that allows him to help get the better revives, while Leo and I kind of stick to the front and do more of the fighting up closer. Even though we're still keeping range, we want to kind of be in between him and the enemies, or draw as much fire as we can between the 2 of us. Some of the mods we're taking advantage of here are we're using Charge with Light builds to focus on Protective Light, which goes on Void Armor. And that's to give us survivability when we lose our shields, if we get sloppy or, you know, get overran. You want to make sure that you can do whatever you can to survive. One of the modifiers for these Grand Masters is if everyone goes down, then you return to orbit, which can be frustrating. We had that happen several times at the boss room, which is kind of what led us to build this out, as opposed to using high energy fire or Argent ordnance, things of that nature. Instead of focusing on DPS, we wanted to try to stay alive as best as possible. So something else you want to make sure you're doing is clear ads. You'll notice that a lot of times when you're picking up like fuel charges, slamming, things of that nature, there tends to be the ad wave. And so before we start a new ad wave, we like to try to make sure we take time to heal, reload weapons, and kind of do an ammo sweep. And it sounds kind of cliche, but you'll be surprised what you can do. Coming into this part up here where you got to dunk the first charge, there's a Thresher that comes in late. You'll see that we kind of start pressing here, and once we get up this a little ways, you'll see the Thresher kind of comes in and causes some problems, and we got to scatter a little bit. The other thing you want to remember going forward when you're attempting this particular Grandmaster is after you slam the orb up here where we just killed the anti-barrier champion, there's this extremely magical phalanx that will spawn behind you. You'll actually see that I fall victim to them here shortly. So if you want to stay spread out, you kind of want to make sure someone keeps that in mind and pays attention. And that's one more reason that we try not to stay clustered up. We want to keep a good spacing where we can still focus fire, but we don't want to be sitting on top of each other, because a well-placed Thresher round or a grenade from an enemy can really cause havoc and wipe you out at once. So here in a second you'll see what I'm talking about with the phalanx. So something to keep in mind, and then as long as you keep that and focus fire with one other teammate, you can take them out pretty easily and keep them from causing too many problems. what we want to do is we're going to take down the threshers again as fast as possible. You don't want their seeking missiles causing any issues. They're slow, so you might forget they're there or not realize they've targeted you. And then the next thing you're going to see is once we do that, we're going to hop our sparrows, and then we're going to shoot off to the left. And you'll see we're going to climb up the side of the ship, and there's going to be a lone barrier champion up there, and we're going to take him out. And then once we do that, we're going to, sparrow on through to the first tank area. And what this does doing this is it skips all the Fallen and Cabal at the bottom of the ramp there, and that's going to save you chances of wasting revives on deaths that you get overran with. You'll have enough points for your 100,000, so unless you're looking just to score the absolute highest points possible, there's really not much upside to traveling up the ramp there. So here's what I was talking about. You'll see we hit the sparrows, shoot the ramp, and then head up to the next tank area. Saves a lot of time and headaches, that's for sure. What we're trying to do is keep the distance like we've been doing. You'll see that we shoot some anarchies at the tanks, and we just try to poke up all the ads while we can while doing damage. And this is kind of the strategy we use for the whole strike going forward. You just want to keep distance, stay safe. You'll see here once we get to the second tank part where you lower the elevator, and there's 3 unstoppable champions that come off the bridge there. It gets a little dicey there. You'll see I run out of some ammo and panic a little bit. We get through it though. This ends up being our actual very first clear of the Grand Master as a Fireteam, so we're real pumped about that. So we just kind of use the strategies I talked about through the other areas, through the rest of it. So that's really all I got to cover today. So if you like what you see, please think of subscribing, liking the video, share it. I'm new and up and coming. That's the plan at least. So any support I can get would be wonderful. Please feel free to watch the rest of this out. I kind of clip through the dead parts, and then you'll see the strategy we used, using what was most comfortable for us, and hopefully that can let you and your fire team find what you need to push forward and get through that first Grand Master or whichever end game material you're looking to complete. So good luck, Guardians, eyes up, and let's go!